Welcome back to this week's Powerback episode. Today, we're talking about what the hell do you do when you're feeling stuck? You know that feeling when you're at a crossroads, there's a decision to be made, you can feel your mind and your body shutting down. What do you do when everything seemingly feels overwhelming, unclear, and you have no idea what the fuck to do? The good news is you're not the only person that has experienced this. And the even better news is I've got some very simple, tangible ways for you to shift out of feeling stuck so you can start to build momentum again. When there's momentum, there's flow. And where there's flow, there is change. Before we dig into the depths of this goodness, though, I first want to tell you that the Gutsy Collective Inner Circle opens officially on October 1st. My team and I have been building this behind the scenes for the last 6 weeks or so. And I have to tell you that I'm so incredibly proud of this product. Much like many of you, I've created a shit ton of things because I felt like that's what I needed to do. That's what I had to do. That's what's working for someone else. So I must do that as well. And it's very, very evident when things are not for you, especially the further you get into your self development and connective work. It becomes glaringly obvious when something's not right for you. It's also very cool because when something is for you, when something is a full body hell yes, when you're like, yes, like this is the thing. I'm excited about this. I feel good about this. I just have this deep aligned knowing that this is the thing. That feeling is incredibly possible for you. And that's what I'm feeling right now with the Gutsy Collective Inner Circle. So, in case you're not familiar with it, the Gutsy Collective has been a free online group up until this point. While that is still in existence, there's a whole new, deeper way for you to connect and to grow through the Gutsy Collective Inner Circle. Each month, we'll have live mindset classes, tangible, practical ways for you to get out of your own way and start making aligned shifts in your life and in your business. We're also going to have live No Brawl Sunday intuitive coaching sessions. Come as you are, come with a hot cup of coffee or tea, and get some intuitive guidance for what you need in this season. And did I mention you're also going to get access to the Powerback course, which is a 6-week self-paced course to help you regain your power in your mind, your time, your voice, your presence, and in your money. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, and we're just getting started. So if that's tickling your fancy and making your ass say, you know what, that might be for me, go to LauraAura.com, click on the Gutsy Collective, and I'll see you on the inside. All right, let's get into feeling this stuckness. Look, if you're listening to this, I first want to just send you so much love. I know that feeling all too fucking well, which is why I can probably share this on such a raw level with you. Feeling stuck, it's it's dense, it's heavy, it's confusing, and it's fucking frustrating. I mean, let's just call it for what it is, because you know in your body, you know deep down in your soul that you're called for more. There's something calling you, there's a shift to be made, like something is moving and happening kind of in the background, but in the foreground, it's like you're just staring at it. I just finished teaching the last round of the mindfuckery workshop. And I tell you, one of the most common reasons that these gals showed up and signed up was because they were feeling stuck. Stuck meaning I'm not sure what to do. I don't know where to focus my time or my energy. I'm not sure what the right thing is. I don't really know what I want. I mean, we could insert 100 different reasons here. The point is, there is a stuckness, a stillness, like I'm just staring at my computer and I don't know what to do next. Or you're doing a bunch of other shit because it helps your brain feel productive, but it's not really doing anything other than checking boxes. When you're feeling stuck, your brain gets really noisy. Things get very complicated, and the shoulds and the expectations of the world starts to really dump into your brain hole. So the good news is you don't have to stay in this place. This is a temporary challenge. This is a temporary moment in season. And so hopefully today I can give you a couple of different ways to start moving that energy so that you can get unstuck and start building some momentum again. So getting unstuck, there's two different kind of ways that we can look at and approach this. The first way, which is not always like the most desired way, because I know that you want to get shit moving like yesterday. But the first thing is to acknowledge that do I maybe just need to sit in this for a little while? Feeling stuck is often a way that our mind and our body is communicating with us. And sometimes it's not about plowing through, forcing, pushing, implementing stuff to change things right now in this moment, but rather sitting in it, letting it feel uncomfortable, letting the information come to you, letting your emotions do what they need and want to do. Because I'll tell you what is worse than feeling stuck is feeling stuck and then forcing yourself to do shit. Because that's often where we make bigger messes. You maybe unintentionally commit to things that you don't want to do. You're not thinking consciously. So you're just like picking up maybe some old bad habits. You're just playing this professional game of whack a mole. You go back into people pleasing. You're just like doing a bunch of shit that's not aligned with your higher mission or goal. In reality, what you're trying to do is to move out of the discomfort. And by forcing yourself to do that, you make things way fucking harder than what they actually need to be. So, my first tip for you today is to check in with yourself. What do you need right now? Is this a season of sitting still, of pausing, of marinating in this? And again, I know that it's uncomfortable. I know that you want to move forward, but maybe it's just not time yet. Maybe there's information that is coming to you. Maybe there's an experience that is unfolding. Maybe the clarity that you're looking for is in the stillness. Now, that's very different than like staring at your computer because in that energy, you're still trying to force yourself to do something. But I'm talking about intentional stillness where you change your scenery, you give yourself a break, you do some other things that don't require your strategic mind. Maybe it's time to just let it be for a little while. Now, if you've done that or feel like that kind of phase has been nurtured and completed, the next step then is to disrupt the shit. Getting unstuck requires you to disrupt the pattern. And you might be thinking, okay, I can do that, but I don't know what to do. Like, how do I actually do that, Laura? Good news. I've got that for you. So if you're not familiar already, I have a process called the Powerback process. It's an acronym, AURA. It is designed and intended to help you get back into your energy, to reclaim yourself, to get focused, to get in your conscious, aligned mind so that you can move forward in a way and space that feels good to you. So instead of your mind playing the fucking circus game with you, this method is intended to help you get back into your body so that you can take action from that space. And it just so happens to work very beautifully with getting unstuck. So the first portion of this process is awareness. Listen, if you do not have conscious awareness around your thoughts, your feelings, what's going on in your body, what are you saying to yourself, it's very, very, very difficult to make any kind of change. And so, whatever shift you're ready to make or direction that you're ready to go into, that first must start with hearing your words and feeling your body. Now, particularly when you're feeling stuck, this might sound like, okay, what is this energy trying to tell me? What is the stuckness saying to me? What is the feeling behind this? Now, this is a really great opportunity to just simply start getting back into your conscious body, to really start feeling and tapping into it because the stuckness is like this external energy that comes in that tries to navigate your direction with what, but with like absolutely no direction. So get aware of what the feeling is behind this. Maybe it's fear of making the wrong decision, fear of not knowing what to do. Maybe it's overwhelm. Maybe there's just so many different options that you're not sure what to do next or where to focus your time. Maybe it's lack of clarity. Like, okay, I kind of have an idea, but I also don't at all. And I know I want to do something, but I'm not sure what that is. And that kind of taps into uncertainty as well. Have I actually owned who I am and what I actually want? Better yet, have I given myself the time and the space to explore what those things are? So start to get aware of what this stuckness looks and feels and sounds like in your body and in your mind. This process really helps you to diffuse the bigness, the kind of gnarly hairiness of it, and start to get back into yourself. Because once you have awareness of it, then we can go on to the next step, which is you unpack it. Now, if you've not yet explored what it is that you actually want, this is a great opportunity to do that. When you're feeling stuck, a great way to unpack it is to say, okay, what is it that I actually want? Let me do a little introspective work. Let me tap into my bigger goals, my bigger mission. What is the vision that you're having? What is the feeling that you're going for? Unpacking when you're stuck allows you to tap back into your truth. What is it that I actually want? What is if I part the trees a little bit and I start to see through all of this chaos in my mind right now, what is the bigger thing that I'm wanting to achieve? Maybe it's more time, maybe it's more money, maybe it's growing the business, maybe it's starting the business, maybe it's a career change or a change in friendships. What is the thing that you actually want? And if you get to this and you're like, I really just don't know, I've got lots of Powerback episodes prior to this to help you tap back into what you actually want. By unpacking, you start to see through the trees, right? You start to see through the chaos. It takes it and it really starts to diffuse the bigness and it starts to make it more of a solid, tangible thing in front of you. Because before, everything's just the same level of importance, the same level of confusion. Unpacking it allows you to start getting some clarity around things. So much of stuckness is lack of clarity. And that's where you get to move into R, which is to reframe it. In the case of stuckness, this is where you are reframing what is really true. You're making a decision and you're starting to build some clarity. Again, a lot of the stuckness is in this wavering back and forth between decisions. What's the right thing? What's the wrong thing? What should I do? I don't know what I want to do. I don't know where I want to go from here. And until you take the time to really go inward and start to ask yourself these questions, everything is going to keep running at 100 miles an hour in front of you. So when you've unpacked it, you've got back in touch with who you are and what you actually want. Now, when you're reframing it, you can start to make some decisions. Okay, I don't have all the answers, but I know that this is the direction that I want to go. I'm going to decide to do that. I'm going to decide to open the LLC. I'm going to decide to start looking for another job. I'm going to decide to raise my prices, right? Like whatever you've been wavering around in or mulling around in, your mind wants clarity. Now, clarity doesn't mean that you need to know every piece of the puzzle, okay? Asterisk, side note, you know, information you need to know here. Clarity is not about knowing who, what, when, where, how, and when. It's not about having every ounce of the detail or the plan mapped out. It's just saying, okay, I can now see where I want to go. I know what I want to do, and I'm willing to do something about that. Clarity takes you out of the wavering and gives you a North Star. It gives you a direction to start focusing your time, money, and energy on. Because when you have clarity, now you can move into the final step, which is A, aligned action. This is where you're taking one next step towards that. Again, it's not about having all the details figured out, but I'm certain that you could come up with what that one next thing might be to help get you closer to that goal. This takes conscious effort to release the need to have it all figured out, to release the control of every aspect of it, and trusting that your guidance, your intuition, and your goals are pointing you in the right direction. And that as long as you continue to follow the things that feel like a hell yes to you, the answers will come to you as you take action. Because you have to do something, right? Like you can have a vision board all day long, but if you don't take aligned action to help bring that and draw that closer to you, it continues to be beautiful pictures on your Pinterest board. When you start to take messy action, which is nothing more than doing one simple thing towards your bigger goal without all the details, it's one thing that you know that will help draw that closer to you. When you take that messy action, you start to build momentum. When you build momentum, you start to get more clarity, you start to build your confidence. And as you do that, it just starts to get easier. That stuckness that you felt before is now a thing of the past because now you're in the flow. Now you're in movement. Now you've got the clarity and the oomph behind you where things are in active motion. But all of that came to you because you chose to go inward first. Look, I think that we're sold this like quick fix hack type of shit where, to achieve all your goals, all you have to do is this one, two, three, and then boof, like magically it fucking appears. But the reality is the sustainable shifts like the stuff that actually sticks and changes in your life, is when you truly go inward. You get very real about who you are, what you want, what your tendencies and your resistance are telling you, how you're showing up in your life, what your habits are like. And you recognize those and start to implement these small shifts moving forward. That, my friend, that's where you make lasting, true change. Feeling stuck isn't always a bad thing. It feels like it, but it's not always a bad thing because it's often the space where we're given the time to think, to feel into things, to get the information that we need to move forward, to get the clarity. Like things just happen when we're not forcing and rushing through times and circumstances, and we sit, we pause with it. I know that can be really uncomfortable, but when you pause with it and allow the feelings, allow the information, allow the experience to happen, within that stillness, you gain so much of your own personal power back. It's in the reframe of looking at this from being stuck to, okay, what do I need to know and learn right now? And then once you have allowed and nurtured that time and space, then walking through the power back process to really tap back into yourself, to gain awareness around what is the energy behind this, to unpack it, to say, okay, what is it that I actually truly want here? To reframe it, to decide, to gain clarity, focus, and direction, and then to take aligned action. One small thing that helps draw that goal closer to you. That, my friend, is how you get unstuck. It works like a fucking charm. Sometimes it works instantly, sometimes it takes a little bit longer. Regardless of the timing, just know that spending this intentional time with yourself is where you're making the lasting change. This is also the kind of support and the conversations that we're going to be having inside the Gutsy Collective Inner Circle, because doing this stuff alone is very possible. Absolutely. But when you do it in quantities, when you do it alongside like minded people to get the extra encouragement, to have the opportunity to ask your own personalized questions, to get clarity live in the moment, that shit is invaluable. So if you've been looking for a community of people to support you as you grow in your life and in your business, go to LauraAura.com and click on the Gutsy Collective. I can't wait to see you on the inside. In the meantime, come say hello. I am super active these days on Facebook mostly. I'm also on TikTok and Instagram. You can find me on all platforms using @thatLauraAura. And as always, until I see you next time, stay gutsy.